Why do people buy things they don't need with money they don't have to impress people they don't even like? More than a century ago, one economist asked this question. But he didn't just study wealth, he exposed it, he mocked it, he decoded its psychology. His name was Thorstein Veblen, and he changed how we understand modern consumption forever. Welcome to Inside Finance History, where money shapes empires, power rewrites truth, and history hides more than it reveals. Veblen was not born into luxury. He grew up on a rural immigrant farm. His childhood was shaped by scarcity, labor, and survival, but also by distance. He always felt like an outsider. At universities, he was brilliant, but socially awkward, cold, detached. He observed society as if he were not part of it. And maybe that was his greatest strength, because sometimes the clearest vision belongs to the one who stands outside the crowd. In 1899, Veblen published a book that would scandalize the upper class, The Theory of the Leisure Class. It was not just economics, it was social satire. Veblen argued something radical. The wealthy do not consume primarily for comfort or necessity, they consume to display status. He called this phenomenon conspicuous consumption, buying things to be seen buying them. Luxury, in his view, was not about utility, it was about signaling power. In one stroke, Veblen transformed the image of wealth, no longer purely admirable, now psychological, performative, almost theatrical. Veblen understood something many economists ignored. Consumption is emotional, tribal, deeply psychological. In early human societies, status meant survival. Higher status meant better access to resources, protection, and mating opportunities. Modern society changed the environment, but not the instinct. Today, status signals still exist. They have simply evolved. Luxury brands function like modern tribal symbols. You don't buy a $10,000 watch just to know the time. You buy it to communicate something, a message about identity, about belonging, about hierarchy. Long before social media, Veblen predicted influencer culture. He understood that in modern capitalism, visibility becomes value and recognition becomes currency. But Veblen himself was not a moral saint. His personal life was complicated, controversial. He had multiple relationships. Academic scandals followed him. He struggled within institutions, lost positions, drifted between universities. Some saw him as a misunderstood genius. Others saw him as socially dysfunctional. He criticized society's rituals, yet he could not fully escape them. Perhaps his distance gave him clarity, but it also came with a cost: belonging. Today's world is even more Veblenian than the one he described. Luxury is no longer rare. It is mass-produced, mass-displayed, mass-performed. Social media has transformed consumption into a global stage. We curate identities through what we own, through what we show, through what we signal. The question is no longer simply, do you have wealth? It is, can you perform wealth convincingly? In this sense, modern capitalism is not just an economic system, it is a psychological ecosystem, one built on comparison, aspiration, and visibility. Veblen did not just analyze consumption, he exposed its hidden logic. So next time you see luxury, ask yourself, is this about comfort or about signaling? Thorstein Veblen believed modern consumption had become a performance, a silent competition, a social theater where everyone is both actor and audience. But centuries before Veblen, Spinoza warned us about something even deeper. He argued that most human desires are not truly free. They are shaped by forces we barely understand. We believe we choose, but often we are being moved by fear, moved by comparison, moved by the need to exist in the eyes of others. In that sense, luxury may not be the symbol of freedom. It may be the architecture of invisible control. Because when consumption becomes identity, ethics slowly disappears from the marketplace. The question is no longer, is this good? It becomes, is this admired? Veblen showed us the stage, Spinoza showed us the strings, and somewhere between desire and display, modern society took shape. We do not just consume products, we consume meaning, we consume recognition, we consume ourselves. So the real question is not what we buy, it is who or what is buying through us. If you enjoyed this journey into finance and history, hit subscribe and explore the stories most people never hear. Inside Finance History, the story behind the system.